Welcome to the RVCC podcast, where we want to help you grow in your faith, lead your family, and influence your workplace. Hey, I'm Kevin Moore, your host, as well as the director of RV Community for Christ. So honored that you're hanging out with us. Before we get to the story that we're going to tell today, I just want to invite you to be a part of two things. Number one, Ironman. On Thursday night, June 4th, 5:30 at Dogwood Manor in Ligonier, we have our next Iron Men event. And if you've never been to one of our Iron Men events, you're missing it, because it is a great time. We have a great meal. We have a great time of singing and worshiping the Lord. There's a message that's inspiring and informative, and we would love to have you come. So mark your calendars, grab a couple friends to come join us on Thursday night, June 4th, 5:30 at Dogwood Manor in Ligonier. The second thing I want to let you know about is just a couple days after that, Saturday, June 6th, we're doing a food giveaway. We're partnering with the great organization, Milford Food Bank, and we are doing a giveaway of food. What does that mean? It means we're giving food away. Anybody who needs food, anybody who wants food, 8 a.m., I believe it's to 10 a.m., come join us at Maple City Chapel Church in Goshen, Indiana, right there in the parking lot, and we're going to be passing out food. So spread the word, let people know there's a food giveaway happening on Saturday, June 6th. And also, if you want to come and help, go to our website and you can sign up to help for the food giveaway. We would absolutely love to have you be a part. So Ironman, June 4th, food giveaway, June 6th. We at RVCC, we want to make the world a better place, and we would like to invite you to join us. Together, we can and will shine a bright light for Jesus. And isn't that what the world needs right now? Yeah, I think it is. So come join us. Come join us on Thursday, June 4th, Saturday, June 6th. Well, hey, today I want to tell you a story. It's a true story. There was a little girl growing up in a small town, and her father, quite honestly, was an alcoholic. Her mom was struggling to just make ends meet and do the best she could. The little girl had some siblings. She was kind of in the middle of a couple older sisters and some younger brothers. And she was living in a small town in an apartment complex. It was kind of a government subsidized housing. And as a little girl one day on a Saturday morning, it was a sunny day, and she's out quite honestly, in the parking lot of this apartment complex with her sister playing dolls. And she's sitting on the sidewalk and she's playing dolls when all of a sudden a man walks up and he says, "Hey, I was wondering, girls, I don't mean to scare you, but I was wondering, would I be able to talk to your mom or dad?" And the girls said, "Sure." So they took the man up to the door and introduced the man to their mother. And the man said, "Ma'am, I'm from a church here in town, and on Sundays we come and we pick people up for church. And I was wondering if you and your family, or maybe your little girls and kids, would like to come to church with us. If so, we'll come and pick you up. We've got a church van. We do this every Sunday, and we just love to have you be a part. We got a great kids ministry and a youth ministry and a great Sunday message. I think you'd love it." Well, the little girl's mom said, "I'm not interested, but my kids might want to go." Well, the little boys didn't want to go, but the one little girl did. Her and her sister said, "Yeah, could you pick us up?" And the man said, "I'll be here tomorrow." So that man came and he picked that little girl and her sister up for church on that Sunday. And you know what? He did it again the second Sunday and the third and the fourth. And a year went by and 2 years went by. And finally, that little girl, she's no longer a little girl. She's a teenager. Family life is still at times not the best. Father struggles with alcohol, trying to make ends meet. But the girl found Jesus. She found hope. And later in her teen years, as she was graduating high school, she met a man. This man didn't know Jesus, but she married him. The man ended up coming to Christ. And as the man came to Christ, oddly enough, started going to the same church that the little girl was being brought to by that man in the church van. And as that man started to attend the church with now his wife, they started really drawing close to the Lord. And that man felt a call to be a pastor. So now this little girl who lived with a family that was honestly quite struggling, picked up by a church to go to church on a regular basis. Now, not only has she found Jesus, her life has turned around, and she married a man who became a Christian and then now even wants to be a pastor. This little girl's life was totally turned around by a man who was willing to just serve at his church. Wow. To be honest with you, I'm very, very thankful for that man, because that little girl that man from that little church picked up every single Sunday, who eventually gave her heart to the Lord, who eventually married a man, who eventually became a pastor. That little girl is my mom, Marcia Moore. I am totally indebted to that man that I've never met before. I'm totally indebted to that man for serving in his local church, for serving in his community, because he not only changed one little girl's life, he changed my dad's life. He changed my life. He changed my family's life. I'm so thankful for that man. I've never met him. I'll never see him on this side of heaven. But I can't wait to see him on the other side, shake his hand and say, "Thank you, sir. Thank you." You see, sometimes in life, so many times in life, we feel like that we can't make a difference. Who am I? I don't have any skill sets. Who am I? I can't sing. I can't write. I don't speak up front. I don't have a lot of money. Who am I? What kind of difference can I make? You know what? You can make a huge difference. That man changed the history of people's lives. Eternities were changed because he used his driver's license. He had a driver's license. He had a Sunday morning, and the church had a van, and that was enough. When you look all throughout the Bible, people just took what they had, and they gave it to God, and it made a difference. That man took his driver's license and a Sunday morning and a church van. He gave it to God, and it made a difference in the world. Moses gave his staff, and God parted the Red Sea. Esther gave her courage in her position as queen, and God saved her people. Paul and Silas, when they were in prison, they gave their voice and they sang songs, and God delivered them from jail. On and on and on through the scriptures you see where people just take what they have, like the widow with a little jar of oil. She gave it to God, and God changed her life. You see over and over and over again where people just give what they have to God, and God uses it to make the world a better place. So let me ask you today, what do you have? What do you have? Do you have a driver's license? Do you have a car? Do you have a Saturday morning? Do you have a Thursday night? Do you have a desire in your heart? Do you have a friend that needs help? What do you have? I want to ask you today, what if you took what you had and you gave it to God? What if you took what you had, you gave it to God, and you served in your local church? Took what you had, gave it to God, and you served in your community. You know what would happen? Lives would be changed. You say, Kevin, I don't know. No, you know what? I do know. Because one man took what he had, a driver's license, a Sunday morning, and a church van, and he changed my mom's life. He changed my dad's life. He changed my life. He changed my brother's life, and he changed all of our family's lives. So you can't tell me today that if you don't take what you have and give it to God, that you can't make a difference. Because you can. So that's my challenge for you today. What do you have? Will you give it to God? And will you go serve? Because if you do, you're going to make an impact. At RVCC, we want to make an impact. That's why we do things like our big fall event. That's why we do things like our fall retreat. That's why we do things like the food giveaway. That's why we do things like Ironman and ladies events. We want to make an impact in the RV industry and beyond. We're not just for RVs. We're people that make RVs. We're for people. We're for people. And so we're rolling up our sleeves and taking what we have, and we're trying to make an impact. And today I want to invite you to do the same. God has placed you where you are. God has made you who you are for a purpose, a plan, and a person. Today, take what you have, give it to God, and make the world a better place. Hey, I always love hanging out with you. I want to remind you, join us for Ironman. Join us on Saturday, June 6th for the food giveaway. We'd love to have you be a part. Until next time, God bless.